Welcome back to my channel. As I said, we're doing things completely different. It's amazing uh, what we got out there right now. If you like my channel, I'm going to keep going. Subscribe. Like I said, we're going to be doing things differently. Um, just want to read you something from an article that I was checking out the other day out of Florida. It says on February 20th, agents from with the Office of Agriculture Law Enforcement conducted a routine inspection on a Volvo tractor pulling what appeared to be a 2009 utility trailer. It was a refrigerated trailer. Upon closer examination, it was revealed that the trailer was actually a 2022 model with a swap van. Let that sink in. Said that the trailer's value was approximately $65,000 had been tampered with, and its true ownership remains under investigation. So let's go there. So basically, this guy went through the agriculture station. We all know where that is, going into Florida. That's one of the first places that you have to stop and get inspected, especially if you're a refrigerated unit. And I don't know what this guy was thinking. I don't know if he thought he could just go ahead and slide on through or, and they would just pass him on by because sometimes they do that, but not all the time. You'll get an inspector that want to actually see the paperwork. So it continues to say that the guy was arrested at the Florida agriculture station on a felony charge after a tampered trailer vehicle identification number VIN led to the discovery of tools for credit card fraud. Come on, man. Credit card fraud? You in this industry and you still playing games? I don't know what to tell you, man, on that. There's Miguel Perez Bacala, Bacal, 41, Buffalo, 41 of Miami, Florida, was arrested and booked into Hampton County Jail on felony charges. The agriculture station has 23 inspection stations on 19 highways going into and out of Florida. The agency investigates crimes involving agriculture, those occurring on property owned or operated by Florida Department of Agriculture Services. What makes people do the things they do, I will never understand, especially in this business. Maybe he was getting those tools for selling. Maybe he was going to sell them to someone. Who knows? But you go through an agriculture station and get arrested for a felony of stolen tools and credit cards, but you're a truck driver. So you should be making pretty decent money. So you're still doing the same things that you did before you became a truck driver. It just haven't changed. Cool. Y'all gonna love this. It's coming off the presses. It states on Tuesday, February 24th, the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California dismissed the case without prejudice, finding that it failed to state a claim. We're talking about non-domicile CDLs. The federal judge tosses lawsuit over non-domicile CDLs. FMCSA, remember, issued an emergency final ruling in September 2025 to address the non-domicile CDL system in the United States, saying that states were giving non-domicile CDLs to unvetted and unlawful applicants. The agency determined it was necessary to drastically reduce eligibility. FMCSA rule would remove nearly 200,000 CDLs. Let that sink in. If you remove 200,000 CDLs, do you think the rates are going to go up? I'm going to leave that on the table for y'all to make the decision. It goes on to say, as part of the compliance complaint against Sanhu, said he learned to drive a truck and obtain his CDL, but that the FMCSA was going to take it away without any advance notice, without being able to drive a truck. Sanhu asked in the complaint how he was expected to feed himself and his family. I'm fixing to answer that one right now. You see, this is just my perspective on it. They keep running with this. How am I supposed to survive? How am I supposed to make money? Well, you're over here past your expiration date on your work visa, but you expect to pull on American heartstrings. And yes, some of us are very gullible. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of us are gullible, and we fall for that. We fall for that. Um, we fall for that. This guy needs to work and he needs to support his family and he needs to do this and he needs to do that. But there's plenty of jobs in America. You didn't choose those. You're not saying that about them. You know, yeah, some are being said about the other jobs, but you want to come in the top industry, unaliving Americans, and we see it all the time. Like on my last video, I told you, traveling too close, riding on the side of another vehicle. And my favorite, when the guy goes to pass you, what do? Speed up, Otto. I don't get it. I don't understand. It goes on to say the court then told Sanhu that his complaint did not establish the court's jurisdiction and failed to state any optionable claims. How were you hurt in this? How were you attacked? How were you were you personally attacked? There's nothing there. It's a nothing burger. It goes on to say Sanhu then filed an amendment complaint, but on February 24th, the court ruled that none of the deficiencies had been remedied. You see, I don't understand how an individual comes over here and he pays for a CDL because like I said, I talked to a guy in the TA, I'm not gonna say which one, and this was in a different state, and he told me, he said, quote unquote, guy came in, he didn't care. He just told him straight out. I got my CDL online. I'm like, how did he get his CDL online? We're just having a conversation. He told me all he did is he went in there, paid the fee, handed him the license. If you can't parallel park, if you can't back up, if you can't do a 45-degree angle, because some parking spots require a 45-degree angle. Some parking spots require you to be close enough to the other truck to be able to bend out and not hit that other truck and back in without hitting that other truck. It's a skill and it is acquired over time. So this telling me you can't feed your family and but you're sending money overseas. Explain that one. I don't get it. You're sending money out of the country. There's a lot going on right now in this country, and we're trying to clean it up. So I don't know what to tell you on the article. Goes on to say, in October of 2025, the Public Citizens Litigation Group, y'all remember that one, the teachers and the non-domicile CDL bus driver that was driving the kids around. Says the Public Citizens League Group, the American Federation of Teachers, and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees filed a lawsuit against the rule. Rivera Leguan, the named plaintiff in the case, is a DACA recipient who would lose his CDL under the rule. I have to say on DACA, I feel sorry for them because their parents brought them over here for whatever reason and made it so they could not, um, made it so they could not um, have a place to call home because now they're in America, but they're not. How would I say? They didn't choose to come here. That's the best way I can put it. They didn't choose to come here, but at the same time, the rule applies to them. The new rule from the FMCSA is John Duff. It goes on to say that the unlawful rule seems intended to put people authorized to work in the United States out of work solely because the prejudice of the Trump administration. We are asking the court to promptly invalidate the rule to prevent devastating consequence for our clients and the hundreds of thousands of people across the country who spent depend on commercial driver's license for their livelihood. Look, it's not about Trump. It's about the fact that you had a bunch of CDL mills giving these guys licenses and they were unqualified and unvetted. There's no in between. You got guys out here that are not vetted. We don't know if they drove back there from their home country and they came here to drive, or they just got on, and you could see it, especially in this industry. You could see it. These guys don't know what they're doing. You can see they're unqualified. They never got the proper training. They thought they would just skirt on through and just, ride the rail, meaning get in here and um, just I'm gonna do it this way. We found a loophole, and so we're gonna come out here and we just gonna drive. And I can't tell you how many times I've almost been hit by somebody who didn't know what they were doing, didn't clear the trailer, didn't make sure that it was safe to move over. There's been several incidents. I just haven't, I haven't said anything about it, but yeah, there's been several incidents where I had one guy going through one state where you go. We were on the city roads, and he proceeded to come around me. That's fine, go on the pass, but no, he decided he want to come over close to me before I blew my horn. He backed off, and as I come back around him and look at him, he waves his hand like, sorry, like, no big deal. Yeah, big deal. You're messing with other people's livelihoods. Being here and getting the seat non-domicile CDL because you can't get a regular one, you messing with people's livelihoods there too. Or don't you understand that? You don't care, I know, because I've seen how you guys do when you get into accidents. You have no remorse, you have no empathy on harming somebody that was, you know, just out here, driving, doing what they need to do for their family. So our families come first. I'm sorry. It goes on to say FMTSA emergency final rule issued last September took effect immediately. However, the court put the rule on hold and forced FMCSA to pause the effective date and go through the typical rulemaking procedures before it could issue a final rule. After reviewing more than 8,000 public comments, FMCSA issued an updated rule earlier this month on February 12th. The Public Citizens League group filed a petition for review to challenge the new rule. So we're playing cat and mouse back and forth. They did what you asked them to do. Now you want to file another challenge to the new rulemaking, and they've already got public comment. They've already gone through the procedures, what is needed to make the rule finalized. Here y'all come again. We're not going to change the rules that have been on the books for years. just because you come over here and say, we need to change them. It doesn't work like that. You know, you can have any backing of any group that you want to have, but from them going through the procedures of making sure that it was done right the second time, because they did it right the first time, but you guys wanted them to go through that 30-day process, that 60-day process. Now you mad because they did it correct. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm sorry. In a separate case filed in December of 2025, the Sheik Coalition filed a class action lawsuit against the California Department of Motor Vehicles on behalf of drivers who were scheduled to lose their CDL, and comments fell to FMCSA. The group said the interim final rule has had a devastating impact on Sikhs, as trucking is one of the most popular professions among the community. Let me say this, man, and I'm gonna be upfront with you. It's popular, but what's your real background? Oh, we drove trucks over there. Yeah, but you're on American highways now. You can't just, I'm gonna say this wholehearted and honestly, because I was the same way. Stop being scared to go down to the neck exit and make it come across the bridge and get back up on the other side. You don't panic too much. You panicked way too much. I was the same way when I started. It was a different time then. Oh man, I missed my exit. I don't know where I should turn around. And you see a truck stop and it's not big enough for you and two other trucks. You can't turn around in there. So the first thing you're gonna do is panic and get nervous and take the ride. It may be 2 miles, it may be 10 miles down the highway before you can do a U-turn. You made the mistake. You the responsible party. So go down to the other end, get off the ramp, come on up, make a left, and in some place that you probably never been, you may go to that place again. So why are you trying to make U-turns in official vehicle turning lanes in the middle of the damn highway? I don't get that. That is a no-no. So all you had to do was go down the road. There's going to be an exit down there somewhere. And promise you, every ramp you get off. Now, some ramps you have to be careful because there is no getting back on. And if you read the signs, um, you'll see that they tell you straight out, no access to southbound, eastbound, northbound, whatever from this exit. Or they'll say no semis on this exit, take this exit. You have to read. You have to read and you must know English. If you don't know English, you gonna get somebody hurt. It's simple as that. This is not a have fun job. This is serious. So I don't know what to tell you. You're in the wrong industry. So I was gonna tell y'all at the end of my videos about fifth wheels. This is a key. Mm. So most semi trucks have a button inside the truck where the fifth wheel switch is. You should not have to move that fifth wheel if you are loaded properly. How the fifth wheel comes into play is, and I'm going to touch on the fifth wheel on a few other things. But basically, what you have to do is you have to let your landing gear all the way down till it feet touch the ground, nice and tight. That lifts the weight back up off the fifth wheel. Then what you want to do is you want to flip that switch. That's it. Real simple process. Just make sure you're hooked up. and then you want to step on the gas. Now you're going to move forward pretty quick, and you're going to hear a boom. You can adjust it how you want. Me, I prefer my fifth wheel in the second hole because of those fairings that are on the side of either side of the truck. Because if I have to make a turn, I don't want that trailer, especially a reefer trailer, right up in my backside. So I bring it back to about the second hole to where the trailer is a little bit back behind the quarter fenders. And so what I do is I'll keep my hold there because I know how to distribute it the weight or distribute the weight, like I was telling you before. How it's loaded makes a difference. Most of the time, you want them to either do a two in the nose, two in the center, two on behind the center, maybe one and two. You want them to mix it up because if they put all the heavy weight in the tail end, you're gonna know it. And then if they put all the weight in the front end, you're gonna know it. So basically, what you want to do is make sure you're loaded properly first. But that's the process of a fifth wheel. It's not that hard. Once some trucks have it, some trucks don't have a sliding fifth wheel. But if you flip that land gear down first, okay, get in the truck, pop the trailer brake, push in the tractor brake. Should have told you that in the beginning. Push in the trailer brake, pop, excuse me, pull out the trailer brake, pop in the tractor brake, flip the switch, make sure your landing gear's got the feet all the way to the ground, and then pull forward. Just step on the gas. You'll go selling, but you ain't gonna get away from that kingpin lock that's on that fifth wheel. And that's another thing. Um, you got a couple of guys out here playing games, pulling fifth wheel. The way that I was taught to stop that from happening, and I heard a girl say it, and that lets me know that some of us out here still. Um, the way you stop that is whether you parked or you're in the fuel island, whatever. If you're in the fuel island, you just pop the trailer brake, push in the tractor brake, and give a little tug on the fifth wheel. When you tug on that fifth wheel, that kingpin is resting against that lock. It's very hard to get it to let go. Um, if you ever get in a situation where you're in a yard and you have to drop a trailer, have you ever had a problem where you went to pull the fifth wheel and you couldn't pull it? Well, what it is, you got to get back up in that tractor and back into the trailer and then pull your brake and then come back out. 3 points of contact always, and come on back out and pull it then, and I guarantee it'll let loose. That's because the kingpin, the part that's on the trailer, which is the kingpin, is resting on that locking jaw on the fifth wheel. So that stops people from pulling your handle. Is when you rest that kingpin lock with that locking jaw on that fifth wheel, it will stop people from pulling that handle. Now, there is a second part to that you can do if you feel that you want to be more safer too. That part that I just told you do, but then if you have it, you can drop your airbags. If you drop your airbag, all of that weight is resting back there, and it's gonna be very hard to pull it. But that's the end of my video, man. And I told you we're coming up now. We're not playing anymore. So I'll put some more videos out there, and I'll explain some more stuff to you guys. Um, and as I go forward, I'm learning just like y'all learning. I'm still a rookie at this, so as y'all can see. But anyway, I'll catch y'all later. If you like the video, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. I will answer comments now. Last time I didn't really get a chance because I was just going through a lot, but I will answer comments now. All right. And y'all take care. Have a good one. Stay safe.